let's just start there. I'm going to throw it to you first, Hack, because like I said, This is your spot. Is this the best conference for quarterbacks in the country?
I wouldn't say the best conference. I think there's a lot of talent out there, but this conference is very intriguing. I think there's some guys who have shown what they can do last year. One of the guys was the guy I toasted, and Brennan Armstrong. I think Devin Leary came on very strong. There's a lot of guys who are going to have a chance. Some new coaches coming in to see how they adjust. And realistically speaking, I think this is a very wide open conference. Even with Clemson, I think it's still a wide open conference because they have a lot to prove to me in terms of adjustment. That's tentatively saying also looking at their track record. I think Clemson, obviously talent wise, looking at their roster, they should be where they are, but a lot of change, a lot of turnover. I think this is going to be the most challenging year for Dabo in his career and his tenure at Clemson, just with the change. So I'm looking forward to seeing it, but definitely a conference to watch if you're interested in quarterback play, because there's a lot of good quarterback play top to bottom.
All right, I'm gonna follow that up with this. I think this is maybe Hacken, say I'm wrong. I think this is one of the most well-proven quarterback groups in the country. You look at like statistically, the guys have put up numbers. You got Armstrong, obviously Hartman's out, Devin Leary, Van Dyke, and then at the same time, I feel like some of these quarterbacks have the most to prove. You got a guy like DJ, who obviously had as much hype going the last season as anybody in the country. Was the first in the Heisman running. I think he has the most to prove out of any quarterback in the country, but definitely the ACC to prove he can be the guy for Clemson. Then also Phil Jerkovich. People sleep on Phil Jerkovich. Dude, we were game planning for Boston College a couple years ago, 2 years ago before he got hurt. And dude, he's a dude. I think he could way beyond potentially be a first-round pick. He has the size, got the arms, he got Zay Flowers. So I think I'm excited. Now, obviously, you got guys like Malik Cunningham, playmaker, Jordan Travis, the playmaker. So you got a lot of different types of quarterbacks, but at the same time, I think what most proven and also they got a lot to prove this year.
I'm happy you mentioned Malik Cunningham because just so you both know, I don't know if Hack knows this or not. I'm a little bit of a degenerate gambler. Okay. I love to do that with college football. Malik Cunningham, I bet on that dude every single game last season. My favorite player to tail.
He'll cover the spread for sure.
I mean, he'll cover the spread. You got all kinds of oddball things. I mean, he was basically a 4,000 yard guy. He was about a couple, what was it? 80, 90 yards short of 3,000 yards passing, rushed for 1,000. So yeah,
he rushed for 20 touchdowns. I mean, he had the most in the conference. And then at the same time, there's no look. Here's my take. There's no Lamar Jackson, and if they won a couple more games, more than 50%, I think he gets a lot more praise than he does. I feel like nationally, if there was no Lamar Jackson, what he's doing is crazy. Like game planning for him is not like no cakewalk. Like he's a playmaker.
Is he the best dual threat guy in the country?
He's got to be. I mean, who else? As far as I can't think of anybody else. I mean, Jordan Travis is fast, but I feel like even that offense is kind of wishy-washy sometimes. But I
think the way that Louisville has traditionally had their quarterbacks in those positions, you named him in Lamar Jackson, the offensive scheme sets up for him to be as dynamic as possible. They really use the quarterback run game to kind of balance things out.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So to sum up the quarterback conversation, my spin on this, it may not be the most talented, like you said, Hack. They're missing a CJ Stroud. They're missing a Bryce Young. They're missing a guy who I think is a no-brainer Heisman hopeful type guy, right? But I think it's fair to say it might be the deepest. Contingent of quarterbacks in the country. And on that note, I'm going to force you guys to play a twisted little game here. Everybody's heard of the whole marry, screw, kill game, right? We're going to do a field of 12 version of that quickly, okay? This is for 3 quarterbacks. I'm going to throw ACC quarterback names at you. Darien, we're going to go to you first here. The 3 names, Devin Leary, Phil Jerkovich, and Tyler Van Dyke. I want a touchdown, marry, first down, screw, and I want a turnover on downs, who you'd kill from that group. Leary, Jerkovich, Van Dyke.
Can I have a confession here? I've never played this game in my life.
Okay. Hack, do you want to demonstrate? Hack knows the game.
Hack, do me the honors, please.
Yeah, I will. I think Leary for the touchdown, Van Dyke for the first down, and Jerkovich for the kill. And that's not a dig at Jerkovich, but I think what I saw last year, I think the surrounding cast, supporting cast for those three, I think that's how I would lay it out.
Okay, so it's basically who do you trust most to least, right? 1, 2, 3.
And we're going that way. I think I like Leary because he's very efficient playing against those guys. I mean, that offense runs through him, and I feel like he doesn't make mistakes. That's why I look at his game. He doesn't make mistakes. He's very efficient. It makes the right reads, whether that's a 5-yard pass or a 20-yard pass. He puts it on the money. So I'll go him. And then I'm going to go Jerkovich. I'm telling you, I think Jerkovich is a dude. I think Van Dyke, he definitely surprised a lot of people. I ain't say he surprised himself because he knows he's a baller, but coming as a freshman, I think if he can follow that up, I think he definitely could be in the conversation for me the best in the league. But I'll go Leary, Jerkovich, Van Dyke.
Wow. I think a lot of people would be surprised that Van Dyke's third in that group. I kind of had a little star next to his name. I think he's carrying a lot of weight for the
What was your
Miami
answer
preseason
then?
hype.
What was your answer then?
Give it yours.
Honestly, I think I'm going Van Dyke for my touchdown, Leary for my first down, Jerkovich for my turnover. But I also haven't seen as much Jerkovich as either of you guys have. I'll say that. I've seen the national TV games from Van Dyke and Leary more than I've seen him.
Right.
So,
all right. When he transferred from Notre Dame, he came for blood that first year. I say people forgot, bro. I think he is a dude for sure.
There's a lot of dudes in this conference. I mean, there's no shots at anybody. I know we're already throwing shots 10 minutes into the episode, but there's a lot of good players in this conference, especially at that position. All right. Speaking of good players,